Yeah, I think we just got to be better. I think my decision on the first drive coming out was the one that killed the drive, and then from there, from there, we just got to get the first down. I think once we kind of get the first down, I think we kind of moved the ball well, and got in a rhythm. And I think just adjusting from halftime. I think I got to do a better job of getting the guys and making throws. And I thought the guys up front battled hard. I think they blocked them pretty well up front. I thought. And like I said, just get the first down, and from there, I think just make some better throws. Be more accurate. And I think getting points out of that first drive would have been huge.
Could you take us through the play that led to the interception?
Yeah. I thought I had Diggs, over on the right, and got to kind of look back at it on the film. You don't have a great look at it. I think I missed it high. I think I got to step into it more. I think I may have got hit up front, but that's just part of playing quarterback in this league. You got to step into the throw and take hits and be accurate. And it's just there's plays throughout the game you wish you had back, and I can think of 3 or 4 from me that can help dictate the game. And it's just a bummer thinking back and looking back at those.
Chris Gasper on the far right.
Drake, can you tell me what happened in the first half on the delay of game? It was 3rd and 12 at the Vegas 17. You guys broke the huddle with about 14 seconds. What happened there? It looked like maybe you were trying to change the play.
Yeah, just trying to get in. Trying to get into a good play. I think just got to be better with bring the back in the backfield, timing it up with the play clock. I saw it at the end, and I think I surprised Garrett. Trying to get the ball. I think that's what happened. And just got to be more efficient getting out of the huddle. I think got to preach those guys and give us more time to operate. I think that starts with me and getting those guys in the huddle, get them out of the huddle, kind of being efficient, and just going from there.
And how would you characterize your overall comfort level in Josh's offense in a real game for the first time?
Yeah, I felt pretty good out there. I thought I was seeing it well. I make some better throws, but kind of the first time, kind of adjusting from a halftime and coming in from there. Just got to be better on my part. I think down in the red zone and little things with details. 7 versus 3 is huge in this league, and just make every possession count. And I know there's times that we have looks that we like, and I can think of letting a couple rip that I should have right now. So just taking advantage of every possession and just trying to build those guys and, like I said, get the first down.
Drake, Mike in his opening remarks talked about kind of a sense of urgency and finding out who the team was this upcoming week and facing some adversity, and how committed you guys are going to be to getting better. How would you kind of describe this moment where it's only one game, but does it feel like there's an urgency to get better quickly? Yeah, no doubt. I think there's urgency to don't let this game kind of bleed into the next. I think we got a chance with a division opponent. We're going down there, and anytime you're playing a division opponent, it matters. It means something. And bounce back and realize that at the same time learn from it. Learn from it as much as we can, but at the same time, it's one game, and we got to get back, and it's a long season. So get back at it and do what I need to do to play better on my end and help guys around me play better. And then from there, just lean into each other. I think that's the big thing around here. We spend so much time together, lean into each other and fix what we need to fix and learn from it. And hopefully, the goal is not to have it show up again.
Mike Vrabel mentioned in the second half that the Raiders were kind of switching up coverages and pressures. What did you see in the first half, and what were some ways they adjusted in the second that you may have noticed?
Yeah, I think any NFL team, they're going to try to adjust at halftime and just try to give mix up looks and bring some all-out pressure in the second half. So just having answers and just being quicker. I think just being quicker and make more throws. And I think it was maybe the second drive where they messed up the kickoff, and we had the ball in the 40, and I missed Hunt over the middle on the first down, and the second down I had a chance. So just plays like that, you don't realize that those plays are going to be the ones you look back on and feel like, man, if we hit those, it's a different ball game. So it's a bummer looking back at that now, but yeah, I think just adjusting to what they do, that's the part of the chess match of playing in the National Football League.
Drake, what did you see in the screen game, and how can you guys get more out of that going forward?
Yeah, I think those guys, something that you work on. I think it's something that can be, effective and impactful, and I think it's great to. It's great when you got to establish the run and then make them panic drop, and then I think everything will kind of flow off establishing the run. I think they did a good job of stopping the run, and from there, I think just time it up and kind of longer getting the drive. Sometimes screens work better, and we know the pass rush is coming, so just finding times when to call them and just trusting coach on when he's calling them and just try to execute.
Drake, I'm curious. It seemed like you were hitting multiple receivers today. It wasn't just like one guy you were going to for the most part. How important is it to have numerous guys you can go to at any time? And just what did you feel you got out of that receiver room today?
Yeah, I thought they brought it. I thought they were bringing energy on the sideline. I thought they were, being physical, getting open. I could have gave them some more chances to make plays. And you saw a lot of different guys make catches, and I think they're taking the challenge head on to be a great room and blocking the run game. And, there's things they can clean up and things that we can clean up together. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that room can do. But, yeah, just having everybody in the game plan and keeping everybody honest, not to just, roll coverage over one guy or, double team one guy. You got to, have answers and have guys that make plays. And those guys thought they did that today.
Final question, Phil Bird.
Drake, obviously 10 points isn't enough in this league, but can you talk about it? It didn't seem there were a lot of, I don't know if there were opportunities or even attempts to make that explosive play, long play, very few. I know Kayshawn said something about them playing deep safeties. There just really wasn't an attempt to really look long. Yeah,
I think that's something that Coach Carroll and Graham have done in their career is kind of drop. Have eyes on the quarterback and not let you hit, the big play. And I think there was chances. Tonight I thought we had some, 20 or 20-plus plays, but, that's not a huge play. I think that just kind of let the game flow. And I think, try to get the ball out quick. They got a good edge rusher up front, and they changed. In the second half, they played a lot of, too high zone looks, and it's, tough to throw big plays, against that. So, I think I can think back at one or two times where I know I would have had a big play.
Last question, Derek Knight on the phone.
Drake, you've talked about being a little bit too amped up at the beginning of games, maybe having some jitters. I think you missed DeMario on the first drive. Is that what was going on that play, or was something else?
No, I think just adjusting to the kind of the weather out there. I think, the first drive, I think you got teammates around you, and you're coming out there and, pregame and throwing and feeling good. So, I don't think that was the case. I felt good out there today. I feel like I had a good rhythm. Got in a good rhythm that second drive, and from there, just it was a boundary throw to pop, and just missing a little high. But from there, I thought I was seeing it well, and I don't think that was really. I felt pretty good out there on the first drive.
No, it sure didn't. And again, that's it's frustrating. We have to understand how sometimes these games are going to go, and. We just didn't do enough in the second half. Give them credit, and we certainly didn't do enough. We were too many missed opportunities, too many penalties. Things, the turnover and things that just, again, just didn't take advantage of bad football, and then we're able to, have bad football ourselves. So, we have to. We're never going to accept winning. We have to embrace moving on, and we have to do that quickly and get these things fixed and go on the road in a division opponent.
Mike, I guess how surprised were you by that second half, and what do you learn from it that you can take into next week?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by anything. I'm surprised that, I just want to see. Now we'll see where we're at. We'll see what kind of football team we have, what kind of leaders we have, to be able to come back in here and get to work. And I think that'll be the true test. We always talk about culture and everything else, and we'll see where we're at as a culture and as a team, and if we have guys that want to work and stick together, it'll be a big challenge to do that.
How would you assess Will Campbell's performance in his NFL debut?
I think that's tough right now, Nicole. I apologize. I got to look at the tape. I just, again, I'm sure there's going to be some good plays, some plays we'd like to have back that he would like to have back. I think that would go for pretty much everybody. And I think that there was some good football, just certainly not consistent enough in all three phases. That's kind of what it looked like for me, and I'll try to give you a little better answer after looking at the tape.
Mike, I know it's hard to match with them given Genty and Bowers, but they seem to be running pretty well when you guys went three-corner, and then obviously throw on you a little bit late when you went base. Can you just talk about the thought process?
Well, just trying to mix it up. They really, we didn't think that the run game had hurt us, and then they picked us a couple times, and they hit a couple long ones, and they hit some X plays, which we talked about that being a key. So, we'll get back together, and I thought we settled down really well defensively. I thought the first drive was, not our best, and then I thought we settled down. I thought they played well. I thought they played hard. We just, weren't able to make enough there in the end. And again, I made a decision, on 4th and 10 with, close to 5 minutes to punt, and would like a better punt, and we had them stopped, and that was the plan, and that didn't work. And then they hit one, and we just didn't have enough time there at the end to do anything. That was the decision, that I thought was best for us at the time, and that didn't work out. But situationally, we'll have to continue to improve. We moved the ball, we made the kick, we tried the onside. So again, it's just you can't get down 2 scores late in the game.
Over here, Mike. After Andy's kick in the first half, the team went nearly 2 quarters without getting the scoreboard again. Did the Raiders do anything different on defense? And what did you see?
They mixed in some pressure and a little bit of mixed coverage, and but again, give them credit, and we'll have to come back, and we'll have to be better and more balanced and be able to run the football without making it 1st and 20. We overcame some of those, but just too difficult. And but again, it's a start, not the one that we wanted, and we got a long way to go, and we're going to be resolved to get it fixed, and the people that are here are going to be committed to getting it fixed together.
Coach, you mentioned the Raiders offense. I was wondering what, from your perspective, led to some of those plays and things you can improve moving forward.
Well, man, just knowing, understanding the coverage, understanding, eyes, and I think it all goes into sometimes the call, and they had a good call for what we had on, or a guy made a play. When you look at X plays in general, it's offensively you scheme them up about 35% of the time, and about 65% of the time somebody makes a play. And so I would say that the same would go defensively. That sometimes we're not in the best call and they scheme us up, and then other times somebody makes a play, and just like we were able to get our hand on a football, they go 13 personnel, and we were pretty adamant that they were going to throw, and they tried to hit 89. We tipped it, and we made a play. But we just have to have more of those, and we have to create some more turnovers.
Hey, Mike, I don't know if this falls in the same category as Nicole's question, but how would you assess Drake's performance? Looked like there were some struggles under pressure in this game.
Again, without looking at the tape, I thought there were some good positive plays and really good command of what we were doing. And then there were times where maybe he missed somebody, and we'll have to see. And it's a challenge playing quarterback in this league, and we got to help them out. We have to be more balanced. We have to use our run actions and be able to run the football. It's hard to turn it into a drop back passing game in this league. That's just the facts. And then they're up 2 scores and they're in their 3rd down package, and that we just don't want to ever live in that world. So we all can be better, and whether that's me and the coaching staff and Drake and Will and everybody that you asked about. That's the attitude that we're going to take. That's the belief that we're going to take. We're disappointed, but we can't sit there and hold on to it too long. We got to go on the road, and we got to play a division opponent, and we got to embrace moving on. And I think that's what we're going to try to do.